Hey guys, how's it going? DUJ2 here, and welcome back to Puzzle Monster Quest. Now, this is going to be a different kind of video. We're going to talk a bit of strategy. So I'm going to start doing a Puzzle Monster Quest kind of strategy guides. And today we're going to talk about armors and the armors that I like to wear. Now, if we go up to my previous armor, I'll show you guys what I mean by this. So yeah, so if we check here, wait, I want to go over here, set formation. All right. So if I go into my set formations, you guys are going to see what armor I'm currently using. Now, some of these, like for example, my fire setup, because I really enjoy the full, what's it called? The full fire setup for the, Suzaku. That's what it is. The Suzaku flame bow, which has a 1536 attack, which is amazing. The seer cap, which has an increased bow attack by 25%, that's very important, and the feathered vest, which increases attack by 25% when linking over 7 tiles. Now, the reason why I have this vest on right now is just because it's the set. It goes with the whole set, and my defense gets a 10% up when I link them both. But for example, when we go look at, and if you guys can see, I do wear a lot of the god armor just because there's something we started calling in this game where we call certain equipment godly. So if we go back actually to the smithing, and let's go to the weapons, and I'll show you guys what I mean. One of the best examples right here at the very top. So if you guys notice, there's what I call 3 different levels of strength. There's the quest items like the flame F sword, the forest sword, and everything. The even like the elf stuff. Let's go look at the staffs. The elf stuff is a really good example. Holy elf rod, holy elf scepter, holy elixir rod. All these, those are kind of quest level items, but they're the best you can get. And the cool thing about these is they can actually be upgraded and evolved all the way up to 6 stars, which is really incredible and really awesome. It's very high, very, very high that you can take these. And then you've got a different level of things. You've got like the Queen's Rod. See, the Queen's Rod starts at 316, so it's slightly better than these. And actually the Queen's Rod goes very high up. If we go look at my Queen's Rod right now, I have a Queen's Rod at... Where's my Queen's Rod? Used to forge. Queen's Rod. That's not the Queen's Rod. Queen's Rod. Here's my Queen's Rod. Is that my Queen's Rod? Yes. So my Queen's Rod is actually evolved to the next stage, which is the 4-star one. And it's the Magic Queen's Rod, which is at 1023 attack. Now, for some reason, I don't have it maxed out yet. Oh, I don't have it maxed out yet. Well, that's... Okay. So I need to max it out, because apparently I haven't even maxed it out yet. That makes me feel bad. But then if we go back, I'll show you guys the difference. So if you guys notice, that's like a very high, it's a very high powerful weapon. It's a very powerful weapon. But then, so we have like quest weapons. We have the, I don't even know what to call the other ones. The mid-tier ones, which are like the Queen's Rod. Like the Queen's Rod, like a lot of the other events that we currently have, like the full day events, like the Mech Warriors, the Queen's Rod, like Queen Lace. What else we have? What other ones do we have? The Iron Beak armor and stuff. Those are like full day stuff, which they're very powerful. It's very powerful. But then we have the really powerful stuff, the godly level stuff. And the best way to see it is right here. See, so the Thunder Dark Dragon Sword was from... Was that from the Headless Horseman guy? I think that was from the Headless Horseman guy, right? We've got those. We've got the Flame Elf and all those, which are the quest. And then we have the godly ones, the Rebellion Beam Sword and the Dragon Tooth Sword. The Dragon Tooth Sword was from the Aurora, the dragon, the Chinese god, the blue one. So these weapons and this armor starts at a much higher level. Now, I'm going to focus on the weapons in this talk, because the armor, we'll talk about the armor in a different one. But the weapons is what I really want to talk about right now. If you see up here right now in the game, we currently have the Rebellion Beam Sword, who came from Lucifer, and the Dragon Tooth Sword that came from Aurora. They start at 681, guys. Now I do have a Rebellion Beam Sword, and I'll show you guys what I mean about it. Can I go back? No, I have to go back. So let me go back. Let me go to Evolve Equipment. So in evolve equipment, we can see, let's see the beam sword. So the beam sword starts at this level, it can go up to 1498 at its max, and this is 5-star. But if you take it to 6 stars, it goes to 1634. These are incredibly powerful weapons that are currently available in the game. But if you notice, right now, let's go back to forge equipment, forge weapons. Right now in the game, we only have the lightning and the magic ones. In the axes, we have, I know we have the wild axe. Yes, the wild axe is from the from Zenwu. That's the only one we have. Daggers, we have, let's see, what do we have dagger wise? We have the Deathlord dual swords and we have the Tiger dual swords. So we have power and we have electricity or lightning. Bows, I think we only have Zuzaku. Yeah, Zuzaku is the only one we have. And staffs, we currently have fire and leaf or earth or whatever you want to call it. So we don't have them all yet in the game. We will be getting them eventually, and these are from the insane monsters if you guys have been fighting those. Like Atlas and Lucifer and Bopsy and all of those in the Chinese gods, all of these monsters, which are incredibly hard to do. They're so powerful, but they're worth it. And like again I said, this is part 1 of this talk, so I'm just going to talk right now about these guys. These weapons need something special to evolve. And I think I can probably, yeah, I'll show you guys with the Rebellion Beam Sword. And I do want to make the other daggers too. Wait, yeah, I do want to make the other daggers. So let's go up to fused equipment. No, sorry, I want to go to evolve equipment. So let's go look at evolve equipment and let's look at Bopsy. Let's look at Bopsy's. So Bopsy's Trial Scepter, if you guys notice down here, you guys may have been fighting and you may have gotten rings and you may have thought, okay, what are these rings for? Or you may have thought that the rings were only for upgrading the Chinese god stuff, which is what I originally thought. But no, all of the insane monsters, their armor and weapons require you to have the rings plus whatever stuff that you normally have that, you know, you need to make the equipment for. So in this case, you need 2 rings of each. Now, if you guys have been fighting the insane monsters or the hard monsters, you know that the hard monsters, you can only... with the hard monsters, you can only get these rings if you defeat the secret boss, and it's a very small chance. And then the insane monsters, they do have a chance of dropping these rings, but again, these rings are incredibly hard to get. I'm not kidding you. I don't think I have a single. Let me see if we can see in a second. Let's see another insane armor though. The axe. Oh wow, that looks really cool. But if you notice in this one, and the Chinese gods are, I think to me they're even more difficult because the Chinese gods require you to get the seals, and the seals are so incredibly hard to get. The seals for me, I don't have that many seals. And I don't have that many rings either. So let's go take a look at my rings real quick. So out of every single day that I'm fighting, and I fight a lot, and I do a lot, I currently have, I don't even have any red ones. I currently have 4 water rings, I have 3 lightning rings, and I have 5 earth rings. I have no power rings, fire rings. So I need to get my hand on some fire rings to be able to evolve. But yeah, that's basically, if you guys have been looking and you guys have been at this point, or you guys are trying to figure out, okay, another question a lot of people ask me, which is the best weapon to use? And honestly, guys, I have to tell you, it's not what type of weapon, but which weapons you should use. And to be perfectly honest, my strategy going forward is going to be getting all of these. I want to get all of the insane, all of the godly weapons. I'm going to get both of these swords, because sometimes you need the sword. For example, if you're fighting Atlas, I forget who it was. But someone would always come to help me on my friends, and they had the Rebellion Beam Sword. It was wonderful because not only, especially with Atlas, since you have to hit Atlas, but you can, wait, I forget how Atlas works, but you can knock him back. So, was it Atlas? It might not have been Atlas. It might have been someone else. But you need to, certain monsters, you need to be able to knock back. Certain monsters you need to be able to stun. If you guys have noticed, I love using the Ancient Mech Axe. I love using the Holy Yin Cleaver. I love using the Wild Axe. Why? Because for me personally, I like being able to encircle a monster and then stunning them. And if I stun them, then I can, or paralyze them, whatever you want to call them, then I can try and, form another chain around them after. Daggers, I love daggers. If you're going up against, I think it was if you're going up against Lucifer, Atlas, if you're going up against, who was the other one recently that had the shield? The ones that have the big shield that only work with hitting them, like actual physical hits. You've got to have these. For me personally, having the daggers make it's completely just. It's incredible because you hit to hit all around. So you walk by them, and if you walk by one square like sideways, you get to hit them 3 times. One from this angle, one from this angle, and one from this angle. And each time, because they're 2 swords, it's a double hit. So I've been hitting 1600 with the Taigo dual swords. Oh, actually, you know what? It was the 100 dual swords. I have the golden. I have the golden sardines. That's what I call. We'll show them after. The bows and staffs have 2 different purposes. For me personally, I love the Suzaku flame bow because again, you can attack from anywhere in the area. Staff is the same thing. The only cool thing about the bow is that the bow, when you walk by someone, you get them to, you know how you hit them. So you can do that. You can hit them as you're walking by. But again, every single weapon has a purpose. Every single weapon has, as we can see, godly versions of it. And personally, for me, I'm not going to just stick to one. For example, with fire, I like using the bow the most. But now that we have the Deathlord dual swords in, I'm going to start using that too. With axes, I use the ancient mech axe. I use the Holy Yin cleaver. And I definitely use the... Where's the last one? Come on. The wild axe. Lightning axe-wise is the only one that I really don't have a great one. My Holy Elf axe and my Guardian's cleaver is not that great. I unfortunately don't have the stuff to get them up to the next level, so I need a godly electric axe. And swords, the swords are probably the ones I use the least, just because I'm not very used to the knockback. But I need knockback in my life, and I need to learn those. But anyway, so if you've been playing this game for a while, like the rest of us, if you're loving it as much as we do, again, the main question I get with Puzzle Monster Quest is which weapon's the best. And again, it's not that there's a best weapon, and I know some people swear by staffs or bows and never leave them. But for example, if you go up against someone like Lucifer or Atlas that you have to hit them close range constantly, then you're going to kind of need, you're going to need one of the other weapons. So it's a good idea to look for them. And as we go along, and as we're getting new insane monsters and new hard monsters, especially insane monsters, we're going to be getting new weapons and new armor. But we'll talk about armor in the future episode. But for now, yeah, so there you go. I just wanted to show you guys this. And actually, you know what? I'm going to make some of them really quick here at the very end. We're going to make some stuff. So I don't have the Moonspell Scepter yet. You know what? Let's make this Moonspell Scepter. Because we're going to make one. I need to make the Moonspell Scepter. I need to make the Aurora's Blade. And the daggers. I need to make the daggers. So there it is. Whoa. Oh, it's so cool looking. Deal high fire damage to enemy. 1344. 1344. And it's not even evolved yet. It's so cool looking. Oh, look at the pumpkin in the bottom. I like that. All right, so we've got the Moonspell Scepter, and again, this one was from the witch Gretchen. Let's make the Dragon Tooth Sword because I don't have a Dragon Tooth Sword yet, and create it. Nice, and I do need to upgrade all these. And the last one I want to make, one I'm most excited to make right now. And the only weapon I haven't made yet are the Deathlord dual swords. Oh my goodness, they're so cool looking. I want to see what they evolve like. I want to see what they evolve to. Boom. Oh man, they're so cool. I love them. Okay. 1331. Okay, I want to see what these evolve into real quick. The last tip I'm going to give you guys is, I know we've talked about this before, the evil levels and evolve levels, the difference between those two. But let me just look at these real quick. What do they max out at? 1439. Wow. Okay. And let's see the moon. I want to see the Moon Scepter. Moon Scepter. Oh, so cute. Look at that. It goes purple. I wonder why so many of the things go purple. 1534. And finally... Oh, that one looks so cool. It's got wings. 1634. Okay, finally, the last thing I'm going to talk is someone just asked in chat right now, what does evil +1 do in PMQ? Okay, so if you notice here, let me look at this one. So if you notice here, it says evolve level 1/5, so it can be evolved 5 times. Now the way you evolve a weapon or an armor in Puzzle Monster Quest is you actually have to put in the stuff that you made it with. So if you go to fuse equipment, and let's look at this one. So if I go in fuse equipment here, and if you look down here, you're gonna see down eventually, you're gonna see a little arrow up somewhere. There you go. See here? See this one right here that has an arrow up? So this was used to make this. And if you put it in, you're going to notice down here, see this bar down here? You're going to notice it's going to go purple a little bit. See that? See how that it went up in purple? So what that means is that you are actually strengthening a current weapon or armor with the materials that you already made it with. And what that does is that every time you get an evil level, it increases its strength or power. On weapons, it increases its strength, its attack strength. On armor, it increases its defense. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, but you can definitely check the wiki page. They have all the numbers on there, and I'll leave a link to that, and I'll leave a link to this Discord channel in the description as well. But yeah, that's why you see me sometimes just grinding and farming all this material, because not only do you need it to make the equipment, but if you ever want to get the evil level, if you ever want to get the evil level up, you're definitely going to need that. And if you notice here, I do believe I have one at level 3. No, level 2. Is that the highest I have them at? Wow. Okay. So the highest I have anything is at 2. But yeah, if you can get them up to 3, 4, 5, or 6, ooh, it's awesome. Yes, an evil level is the same thing as wake level. It's the same thing. If you guys saw it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. I am DUJ2. This has been a bit of an explanation of weapons currently in Puzzle Monster Quest. I'm going to do another video soon on armor, and that video is going to be more focused on, again, what I want to do. I'm not telling you guys what's the best, because honestly, I don't know what the best is yet. To be perfectly honest, there's what's best for each individual location, and that's why we have so many weapons here. I'm going to start doing guides for individual bosses. As you guys know, right now we're in November, and we have this awesome thing where all the bosses are coming back for a few hours every day. And it's in a 10-day rotation. So I'm gonna start making detailed guides for each boss on what the best strategy that I found and that we found on how to defeat them. So I hope you guys are excited for that. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I am DUJ2 as always. This has been Puzzle Monster Quest talking about weapons, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.